All right, we're back for another week of Different Kind of Genius. It's always someone special. But before we get into that, I've got another special mention. Shout out to Griffin Burger. They've stepped up. They've joined the Different Kind of Genius team. They're looking after us with sponsorships. Sammy Griffin, we fucking love you, bro. But anyway, back to business as usual. Today with me, I've got Martyn Dunn. Martyn, say what's happening.
Yo, what's up?
How are you, brother?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for coming.
No worries, my man.
Like-
it was a journey getting down here, all these stairs and everything.
Bro,
being in a wheelchair and all.
I was literally going to say that same shit. I was like, it was great in theory. Then, like, the day off, I was like, Liam, what the fuck do we do? Like, I was just like...
Yeah, this bloke's legless. How are we going to get him down? But no, sorted out.
Man, like, I couldn't thank you anymore for making the effort. I know you're a busy man.
Yeah, I try to be. I'm here, there and everywhere, playing wheelchair tennis around the world.
Oh, like, you started us off. Let us know about that. What are you doing? What do you get up to?
Oh, mate, 3.5 years ago, I had a motorbike accident and ended up in a wheelchair. People who do and don't know, I had a T12. I'm a T12 paraplegic, incomplete. So I can still move my legs and everything, can't move my feet. So as soon as I stand up, I fall over. There's also a lot of problems as well, with bowels, bladder, sexual function. And it also comes down... There's 101 problems, when you have a spinal cord injury. That's just a broad perspective. I remember when before my accident, I used to just see a bloke in a wheelchair and be like, oh yeah, he's in a wheelchair. I went to school with a girl who was in a wheelchair, and I always considered her nothing wrong with her. She's another human being, but I never realised the different levels that it comes with having a spinal cord injury. There's the quadriplegics where it's from C1 to C7. There's paraplegics where there's T1 down to T12, L1 to L5. It's all down your spine, and it can break at any point, break the spinal cord, and then you can have issues for the rest of your life.
Fucking oath.
So,
brother, I'm just speechless with everything that you said, before camera. I'm lost for thoughts because I'm like, fuck.
No, you're right. So I. For just a little bit of education there about the spine and spinal cord. I broke a T12, which is your lowest thoracic, and I lost function in my legs, and not all of them though, just in some part of my legs and all my feet. And now before my accident, I used to play a lot of tennis, a lot of stand-up tennis, probably from the ages of 7 to 13, and then I gave up tennis because I moved from Melbourne to Geelong. And then it fell in the same mornings as football. And I used to love playing football. I loved, kick the football around with all the boys and everything.
Wait, so how old were you when you quit playing tennis?
13.
True. 13.
And then, then I played footy and everything. And by 18, 19, pretty much gave up all the sports. And then when I had my accident, I was in hospital for 3 months, ICU for 2 weeks. And
what year was that? Just to give people a bit of a reference.
2015. Sorry again.
Fuck.
Yeah. So when I was 22, November, November 15, 2015. I had the spinal cord accident and injury. Hit a brick wall at 100 k's an hour. Don't know how I survived that. That was pretty horrendous. I don't remember a thing. Last thing I remember was jumping on my bike at my mate's house and just woke up in hospital to my mum and best mate standing over me, and Dad wasn't too far away. I think he was in the other room. He's like, oh, what? He's awake. So
that's fucked. And and then when you say bike, motorbike?
Yeah, motorbike.
I know, just to give the people the reference.
Yeah. Sorry. And then, motorbike, and hit the brick wall.
You hit a wall at 100 k's an hour.
Yeah, man.
Fuck me.
So they didn't get the exact how far I was going. The copper said, the very experienced police officer said to me, you're doing closer to 160 than 60.
Yeah.
Because right next to where I crashed, there was a 60 sign.
Yeah.
So I probably I was doing the wrong thing. I shouldn't have been speeding, but as being in your early 20s, you got that adrenaline rush. I love that sort of stuff, and unfortunately, I ended up in a wheelchair. But fortunately, I was still making the most out of life. So I had the accident, ended up in hospital, and while I was in hospital, I picked up a tennis racket. Every Thursday mornings at 11 o'clock, they had this wheelchair tennis program.
As part of your rehab?
Yeah.
What hospital were you at, by the way?
The Royal Talbot.
That
was where I had most of my time in. It's in Kew in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I picked up a tennis racket and started hitting balls like I did when I was 13 years old. And the tennis coach, he was quite impressed. So he invited me down to the tennis centre in Melbourne.
Oh, so did he low-key scout you there?
Yeah, he scouted me there.
True.
So then, 1 day a week training turned into 2 days a week, turned into 5 days a week, turned into me playing wheelchair tennis, playing tournaments around Australia, then around the world. And then a couple of years later, that was a couple of years ago. Now I'm playing for Australia and trying to make the Paralympics.
Fucking oath, brother. That's good shit.
I've been to Europe a few times, been to Southeast Asia too many times. Been to New Zealand and man.
You were able to do all that just through tennis?
Yeah, just through tennis, mate.
That's
just through tennis. And that's definitely I'm proud of myself. I turned a negative into a positive.
Bro, like you turned the biggest negative into possibly the greatest positive.
Yeah, exactly. I always reflect on life, and I think, I'm probably doing better now than what I was before my accident.
Really?
It was a lot of I went through a lot of hardship. It was a change I didn't want. And as a change, I probably still haven't accepted. They're always making breakthroughs in stem cell research and everything else. So I do believe in the near future, they'll probably be able to, the way science is going, I might be able to get out of the wheelchair. I'll probably never be able to run a marathon, but if I can get out of the wheelchair and cook with standing up and live a relatively normal life out of the wheelchair, I'll be happy with that.
Bro, 100%. And then man, there's so much. You really spun it around, and I could imagine back when I used to know you, you probably would have had no ambitions of traveling the world for work.
Yeah. Well, 5 years ago, or
literally
4 years. I was a carpenter before my accident. And back when I was a kid, I didn't even think, even when I was 14, 15, 16, I didn't want to be a carpenter, I wanted to be an electrician. But around that time, when I was 16, 17, that's when the financial crisis happened.
Word.
And no one wanted to build houses, Everyone was, scared of, their finances and everything. And me becoming an electrician just went out the window. So I ended up, I finished school.
Yeah.
And I ended up working in a factory making windows, being a glazier.
True.
It was a crap job. I never really liked it, but I learned a lot of good skills in that job. There was a production line. You had to work to the
you had to play your
to
role.
the quota.
Yeah.
So I and I learnt to work with 100 different people. There was 100 people working there. We had to work as a team. We had to build windows, and we had to pump them out. And I worked there for 3.5 years, and I didn't like it. And it just came to me one day. I was 21 years old, had a whole heap of money saved, trying to buy a house and everything, and I couldn't afford to buy a house with the wage I was on. I had a huge amount of money saved, and I asked the boss for a pay rise. He pretty much said no, and I said, look, this job isn't for me. What's going to happen? In another 3 years' time, I'm still going to be working in a lousy factory.
There's no growth.
Well, exactly right. No personal growth. It's just a dead end job. Sucked. So I ended up just writing out my slip and saying resignation slip, quitting.
So what year was that roughly? Just to give us a time frame.
What year was that? Probably 2013.
2013.
2014. 2014. And then mid 2014. And then after it, I thought, look, I'm going to go do everything I wanted to do. I was 21 years old, and I went and did a whole heap of cool stuff. That I went to Splendor in the grass, went to the snow for a bit.
Oh, true. So you lived a little bit.
Yeah, lived a little bit for a few months, but I probably spent too much money. I had a lot of money saved for a house, but that sort of went out the window. And then one of my mates, he was working away, and he was doing what was it? It was working in pine plantations. I can't remember what it was, but and I went and worked in pine plantations for a few months. It was fly in, fly out around Australia. I'd go to Mount Gambier, Tasmania, Bendigo, Otways, and a few other cool places. And but again, that wasn't really the type of thing I wanted to do. So I ended up quitting there, and I did for about 6 months. Did 101 random jobs, from delivery driver to demolition to concreting.
Yeah, like when they send you over there, you got to do everything.
Oh yeah,
you can't just be like, I'm here just to cut. No, it's like, you got to do it all.
So yeah, I ended up just coming home, and then one of my mates said, they're looking for a labourer a builder.
Yeah.
He said, "Are you interested for a couple of days in doing some work?" I said, "Yeah, no worries." And a couple of days turned into a week, and then at the end of the week, the boss offered me an apprenticeship.
True.
So I ended up doing that for 6 months, and then that's when my accident happened. And then I ended up in hospital for a few months, and then that's where the tennis came from.
Fuck.
So there's my life story right there, man.
Fuck. And then I guess let's just start unpacking sort of some of it. So when you woke up, you were in hospital.
So
Did you know immediately?
Nah, man, I had no idea. Like as I said, the last thing I remember was hopping on my bike at my mate's house. I don't even remember driving off. I just remember hopping on there, and where the accident happened was it's probably 5 minutes around the corner.
Wait,
So,
was it on Little Mallet? Not Little Mallet.
no, it was on Bar and Terrace in Geelong.
True.
That's where the accident was, and my mate was living on West Fine Street.
Fuck.
So literally just around, just up 3-4 minutes up the road, a couple of turns, and there you are. Where I had the accident, where Little Creatures is.
Yeah.
So, or where the old mill is, past Landy Fields, and hit that brick wall there. And when I woke up, it's I don't remember saying this, but my mum told me that at one point, like in the first couple of days, I said, "Nah, I should be right. Give it a couple of weeks, I'll be back at work."
True.
And everyone was like no one wanted to tell me, but nah, mate, like you've done a little bit of damage here. Yeah, you're not, but
So how long did it take before you found, like, you knew?
Look, the thing, like where I have my break, T12, a lot of people that's your last thoracic, so that's where like your spinal cord breaks out with all the nerves go down your leg.
Yeah.
So the doctors didn't really know how bad it was or what part of it was. I could move my legs, I could feel my legs, I couldn't move my feet, I couldn't move my toes, I couldn't move my legs outwards, I couldn't feel the back part of it. So they all just sat back and they're like, "Look, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. He might, have a recovery, he might not." So I sat in hospital and man, I was high on all sorts of pharmaceutical drugs. I remember at one point they were giving me 8 mils of ketamine an hour.
Fuck.
Yeah,
So were you still in heaps of pain?
Oh no, man, not at that point.
Why are they drugging you?
Well, because because I was in that amount of pain, but because of the drugs. I wasn't feeling shit. I was hallucinating, or I was in all sorts. And I was on the morphine drip as well. On top of that,
where they push the button.
Yeah, and I always remember I pushed the button a few times. Sorry, and I just pass out.
Fuck.
But yeah, there was a massive part of that. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
What
of that hospital experience?
Yeah, a lot of that hospital experience. I do remember being there. I do remember certain parts of it, but not. Like the 2 weeks. I was in ICU for 2 weeks, and it feels like now it was half a day. And then I was at the where is it? The Austin Hospital in Heidelberg, and I was there for a week, and it felt like I was there for a few hours. But look back on it though, and that's the time where like almost every second day or every day I would have a visitor.
Wow.
But I couldn't tell you when or where or whatever else, but I literally just feel like I was there for a few hours. A few people came visit me here, there, and everywhere, and then then I went to the Royal Talbot where I learned how to be a paraplegic pretty much with my disability.
What? Fuck.
And
what was that day like? Like how did I don't even know how to ask that question. Like,
well, I went there with still high hopes. I was still improving in a sense where, like, because when I initially had my accident, I went in a thing called spinal shock, and I lost 17 kilos in the first 2 weeks. And then
wait, did you just lose that weight because you weren't eating? Like, just nothing was happening?
No, I was eating a bit, but like I think your body just goes into a shock where, all the muscles, all the nerves, and everything chaos.
It just
goes. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Your body just goes in absolute shock, where it doesn't know how to work. And that's where it comes down to like the bowels and bladder, all that sort of stuff not working. I think my body was just. Well, I think your body just goes shit. We just need to go into complete survival mode here.
Yeah.
And they just stripped everything from me because before I went in there, I was 80, and then I was weighing about 60 kilos by the time I got to the Royal Talbot. that was in the first 2 weeks. By the time I got to the Royal Talbot, that was about week 3.5. And that's when I was weighing, 60, 57 kilos.
So you kept losing the weight.
Yeah, I kept still losing the weight. And also hospital food, that's not the best thing either.
No, that's not. And it's like you spent some time with some hospital food as well.
Oh, brother. No, but by the end of it, mate, I was getting pizzas and all sorts delivered. I just couldn't do it anymore.
True.
It sucked. And then, while I was at the Royal Talbot, I learned how to be a paraplegic, like in regards to you got to learn how to get out of bed. You got to learn how to cook. You got to learn how to clean. You got to learn how to go to the toilet again. You got to train your body how to go to the toilet again. And it was, but like everything. While I was going through all that sort of stuff, I was still grateful that I was still alive, and that was one of the biggest things that shook me a little bit. Was there's always someone worse off than you, and one of it was every time I had to go to the physio, to go to my physio, I had to push past some of the quadriplegics. And I remember there was one guy, and every time I pushed past, he had limited hand movement. So I couldn't even invite him to come into my room to play PlayStation. Like he was just, every time I went past there, he would just be staring out his window.
Fuck.
Like at 10 in the morning, you haven't got Foxtel in hospital. Like you don't really want to be watching the morning shows.
Yeah, morning TV sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, man. So
and he's probably been there for like a minute.
Yeah, he was there for a few months before me, and he was there for a lot longer after me. I think he was there for over a year. And then that's just the reality of the quadriplegics. I was lucky. I was there for 3 months, or I don't even think it could have even been 2.5 months. I wasn't there for that long. And I just wanted to get out there, out of that hospital as quickly as possible. And I did. I got out there before. So to get into my house, there was stairs there. So
are you still living in this?
Yeah, still living in the same house. So TAC is that's Traffic Accident Commission. They take care of people who end up in pretty much getting injured out of any accident. So if you have a broken leg, they take care of you. I've heard of some stories where they haven't taken good care of other people or anyone else, but they've always been good with me.
Yeah.
And
just a dumb question on that. Even though with your circumstances, even though you were speeding, like it didn't matter, you still got full treatment.
Yeah, still got full.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then just another dumb question on that, because I just don't know enough about it. Do you have to have like extra insurance for that, or is that just everybody?
No, that's everyone. That's a pointing wrong. Like, well, the thing is, they never got the exact speed limit of what I was going, because no one died. Yeah. So they just wrote it off, and they said, because no one died, I lived to tell the tale. I don't ever, I'm a very good driver now. I'm very cautious. Once you go through that sort of trauma, you got to be chilled. Again. So then,
so TAC, they were looking after you.
They were looking after me, and they built a ramp to get into my house, modified all my bathroom and everything. My kitchen, they didn't need to have to do. I can still do it there, but I've heard of other people. They build in an elevated like bench so that they can cut and do whatever else. And they're awesome. And I remember talking to them a year or two ago, and they wanted to be the best in the world by 2020 next year. So be interesting to see how they go.
Is that support? Is it ongoing? Like, do they still?
Ongoing until I'm 65.
Sweet. Until you're 65.
Until I'm 65.
And then what? Like just.
And then, I guess I don't know. Well, it's ongoing for life. But so before my accident, I was an apprentice carpenter. Yeah. So I still get payments from TAC. And, but I only get apprentice wages though for the rest of my life. But look, it sucks, but it's a lot better than other places.
Like, bro, they could. Mate, you're just lucky to be here. So anything that they're going to throw you away, you're just like, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Bloody oath, it's awesome. I've been to places with tennis like Sri Lanka, and I go down the markets, and there are people there that have lost their legs, and they're in wheelchairs that don't look like they will, and they're just there begging for money, and they're begging off people who've got no money as well, and I just think I'm lucky to be in Australia, very lucky.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, that's the thing as well, I say to people and tell other people, while I've been travelling, one of the biggest things I've noticed, like going to third world countries, even though I'm in a wheelchair, I could guarantee you there are billions of people around the world that will love to live in Australia, be in my circumstance where I'm in a wheelchair, rather than being in this third world country.
Bro, and then it's so...
Right.
You just made me flash back, because I'll never forget, like, when we spent a lot of time in Ghana, and we saw a lady begging on the side of the street. She was on a skateboard. She was missing all her limbs from the kneecaps, and she carried the food on her head, and, like, she used to sell chips. We used to go to her every day, because it was just, like, I just fuck with the skateboard, so, just pull me to her. And, like, so you'd call her over and her son would come over and give you the food and you'd exchange it. And you're just sitting there looking at that situation, you're like, you're in absolute poverty and there's no support for you. You have to move around on a skateboard. It's like, fuck. Like, is there nothing? And then for her, the unfortunate, there's nothing over there that's to support her in any way.
No, they're looking around. There's no one there. No one there to help her.
No. Man, like, not only that, like, we're driving past her. She's literally at the front of a gated community where there's money driving past every day. And, like, people just look at her and, like, they just give what they can. But that's all she's ever going to receive. And you're just like, fuck. But then she has a smile on her face.
Oh, that's the thing, you know. Like, I see the people who've got everything. Like, they've got billions of dollars. They've got everything given to them, and they hate life. They are so angry. They're so, you know, they haven't got any patience. They've got nothing. But, you know, but they've got everything. And then you see people like that have got nothing, and they love everything. You know, everything that they've got.
It blows my mind.
Yeah. It's just it's a state of mind, you know. Once you get used to getting everything, you know, you're just like, oh yeah, cool, I've got everything. I want more now. Yeah. You know, and then once you get more, you want even more. You know, and then there's these, as you said, these people there that, you know, getting around on a skateboard, selling chips. You know, they haven't got nothing.
Ridiculous.
But shit, you know, they're so happy just because they're living. You know, they're selling chips. Cool, man. I've got a few dollars here. I can go get something to eat. I'm living today, and I'll probably live till tomorrow as well, and we'll do it all again. And
because that's the mindset over there. It's literally survive. You're just praying that you do whatever you can today to make tomorrow.
Yeah.
But now that we're on like state of mind, what was the journey like for you after that 3 months in hospital? Like, take us through the roller coaster.
Oh, the 3 months, a lot of stuff happened. You know, to be fair, I didn't lose any mates, which was the best thing. You know, I've heard a lot of other stories of people, you know, they end up in a wheelchair and their mates are sort of like, oh, you know, I don't really want to take him. They don't want to go out with him anymore, and he ends up, you know, getting depressed and not even want to. And again, as well, people in wheelchairs, some of them don't want to leave the house. They don't want to go out and venture. You know, I don't know why, but you know, it's maybe because they've been brought up in an environment where, like, it's either their parents or maybe even their own, where they just get wrapped in cotton wool, and they think, oh, you know, if I go out in the big bad world, something's going to happen to me, you know. And I never wanted
to so many people, regardless of whether or not they're in a chair, which is just what's so sad about that.
That's true, you know. And then when I ended up in the wheelchair, I thought that's not going to happen to me, you know. I even remember talking to nurses. I just wanted to go out and conquer the world. You know, I was like, this has happened to me. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen to me now? I end up in another wheelchair. You know, like, it's just
true.
You know, like, and that's almost been my motto since get-go. You know, my mindset at the start, it was good, but it was still shaky. You know, like, you cannot go through what, you know, end up in a wheelchair and not get depressed, not get anxious, not get scared, because you don't really know what you're dealing with. And for me as well, I started playing wheelchair tennis and traveling, and that was also one of the most scariest things. Like, because like, if I need to go to the toilet on a plane, like, how does that sort of stuff work? Do I really want to find out? You know, do I want? True.
And you've gone on big international flights. You had to have found out.
Oh well, now, yeah. At that point, I only went to New Zealand, which was a 3-hour flight in the 12 months, and I was like, oh, you know, do I want to do it? And then I've never been over to Europe before, and then a couple of years ago, I ended up doing my first European tour in wheelchair tennis, and having to travel on that 24-hour flight, I was like, oh my God, you know, what's going to happen here? For people, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I need to use catheters to go to the toilet. And I wanted to, you know, I was so scared, just that I didn't take enough catheters, that I didn't take enough stuff to go to the toilet, to go to the bathroom.
Oh, because you have to be extra prepared, don't you? Oh, like, you can't just expect that you're going to rock up somewhere and, like, just buy, like, a fuckload. And the way, and all of that, and all of what he called, all of my bowels and bladder changed
So I'm still learning on how all of that works. And I remember one time I was coming back from Sri Lanka, and it was a flight from where was it? From Sri Lanka to Singapore to Australia. And when I went from Sri Lanka to Singapore, it was only a 3-hour or 2-hour flight. And I thought, all right, cool, 2-hour flight there, and then it's like a 4-hour wait. I timed it all, and I thought, oh, okay, cool, I need 6 catheters. That should be the most I'll ever need to go to the toilet. By the time I got to by the time I got to the airport and jumped on the plane, I already went to the toilet 4 times.
Fuck.
Yeah, my bladder just decided just to suck everything out of me, and I was just going to the toilet like every half an hour, every hour, and I was like, shit. And I got down to my last 2. No, I used all my catheters on that plane, and then when I got to Singapore, I had to talk to the like all the what do you call it? All the air people, you know.
Yeah, like the just blank. Like flight attendants and
flight
stuff
attendants
like
and everyone that works for the airlines. I said, look, I need my medical staff and catheters. And in Singapore, they're a bit of a hard ass country. Like, no, you know, terrorist laws, blah blah. I'm like, no, do I look like a terrorist? I'm just bloke need to piss, you know.
Literally.
And then eventually, after an hour and a half, the full bladder, like needing to go to the toilet, they said, well, you're gonna have to go out of Singapore. Grab your stuff at the terminal, and then what do you call it at the
international bit
at the belt? What do you call it? Like where all the
where you go to collect your bags.
all that, and grab out what you need, and then you're gonna have to do it. What do you call it? Coming back into the airport. I was like, all right, no worries. So I ended up doing that, and having to go to the toilet. But like after that, you know, after going through an experience like that, it was just every time I go there, I'm taking 4 or 5 times more than what I think. I go, all right, 24-hour flight. You know what? I go to the bathroom 5 times, or I'm going to take 30 catheters just in case.
Fucking like that, you're not letting that shit happen again.
Nah, man. Like especially imagine if that happened. That was only a 3-hour flight, and I went to I ended up using 6 catheters in the time. I dropped my what do you call it, all that stuff off, and go and get into Singapore. Imagine if that happened on a 14-hour flight.
Oh, bro, game over. And then,
bloody oath, man. By the time I get to Dubai, I would be in hospital.
And and you said you got nowhere to release it, and I'm pretty sure like your bladder can explode from like holding on to it.
Oh,
that'd
man,
be horrible.
Yeah. The thing is as well, like the bladder expands, and I've got an overactive bladder, so that means I overfeel. So I overfeel it. So every 6 months, my bladder would only stretch to 250 mils.
Yeah.
And then it'd feel like there would be a porcupine in there because the bladder wasn't stretching any more than what it was. And apparently, I learned this as what do you call it, my disability went on, that it's quite common with people who have spinal cord injuries that it happens. That you get an overactive bladder and you can literally feel almost everything's going on. If there's a little infection in there, man, like my legs and stuff go crazy. I can. Like,
so it affects the rest of you.
Well, it's just like almost like the nerves just start hurting. Like one of my bottom of my toes start hurting as well when I can feel like there's a sort of infection going on, and then
that's hectic as fuck.
Oh, bro, it's whacked, you know. And then so yeah, I'd get to my bladder would get to 250 mils, and if I didn't go to the toilet in 10 minutes, 2 things would happen. Either one, the piss would go up back into my bladder, or I'd have an accident. So I spoke to my doctors and everything, and I go and get Botox done. So they put a tube. So I go under. I have a surgery. Go under. They put a tube down there into my bladder, and then they just fill my bladder full of Botox. It helps relax the muscles.
Okay.
So yeah, man, like then my bladder stretches out to 350, 500 mils, or even over.
But that little bit makes all the difference.
Oh, bloody oath, man! It's well, if I need to go to the toilet, I feel I need to go to the toilet. But I can just wait 40 minutes to find a bathroom, whatever, and go.
You can't just like go take a piss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. And then you had to get the surgery for that? Did TAC cover that?
Yeah, it's TAC.
Sweet. I was gonna say, man, like that's like with those little inconveniences like that. Like, say if you were in a less fortunate position, you didn't have the like means to support yourself. Like, what would you do?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, again, if I was in a third world country, like, fuck, like, what do you do? Like, I don't even see. All my catheters get paid for. A box of 30. It costs $120. You know, and they'll probably last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So if I don't have to pay for them, I'd be in a lot of trouble. And there are a lot of people out there. I'm pretty sure that don't have to pay, that have to pay for it, even
Yeah, that's
in
heavy.
even in Australia as well. Now I remember reading there was some lady had what do you call it a parachute accident where a parachute didn't come and she had a spinal cord injury. She can still get up and walk and everything. She can't feel the bottom of her feet though. But I remember reading something that she has to go down and buy her own catheters. I don't know if she has to pay for them or not, or if they're covered by anything. But I was thinking, fuck, man, if I had to pay for $120 a month on catheters, that's a huge chunk of money.
And then like it's even more so unfortunate because the rest of your life doesn't slow down.
Yeah.
Like you still have to pay bills, you still have to pay rent, like your car rego is still gonna, like all these things are still gonna keep adding up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like you gotta do your best not to let all those things add up and become overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, no, again, gratitude. Lucky I'm in Australia. But what we were talking about 10 minutes ago, my mindset.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like run us through your mental. Because like how like
I'll try not go off topic this time.
No, bro, we've got nothing but time. And then like as we said, half of this it's stuff I'm hearing for the first time as well. So like I'm just as interested as everybody else. But yeah, run us through your mind state, like because you're such a positive dude. You've never I've known you for a while now, like before and after. Like you've always had a fucking smile on your face. And I'm just like, how?
Look, man, always, well, again, when it happened as well, like it was trauma, but it was traumatizing and everything else. But I almost felt like everyone was watching me, everyone was supporting me. Like no one wants to watch me lose. You know, everyone wants to watch me succeed in this one, and that's also again, which was a lot that helped me get through this thing, or through what I'm going through. And my mindset for the first 3 months, like as I was saying, like I don't really remember much then. But like it was always let's go. You know, I want to get up and walk. I want to get up and do stuff. And I remember one of the physios that was testing me said that she could feel that my hamstrings and glutes were working, and she couldn't feel much of my calves though. And then I was like, okay, sweet, hamstring and glutes, let's go. About a month went past, and they weren't improving as quickly as my quads and everything else was.
They weren't improving.
Yeah, they weren't.
Okay.
And then one of the one of the senior physios came down and said, "Oh, nah, I think you're feeling something else there. I don't think that your hamstrings and glutes are working." And I said to him, I said, "Oh, well, do you ever think they'll come back?" And he just looked at me and said, "Nah, from my experience, no." And I remember hearing that, and that was like a really massive down point in everything. Because I think that was the time that it really hit me hard, where I was just like, "Wow, okay, maybe I'm not going to recover as good as I think I would be." And I remember that day quite well because I had a good mate and his dad come visit me while I was in hospital, and I had to play happy face. I had to play, look, I'm chill, blah blah blah. Like deep down, like I was fucked. Yeah. Where I was like, shit, I just found out something awful today. And I've got a mate coming to check me out. He's already feeling bad about me. I need to make sure I'm chill, make sure I'm happy, and I did do that. He left and everything, but I'm pretty sure that night, like I might have cried, but
Bro, there's like absolutely nothing wrong with
Yeah,
it. Like
but
you
like-
do whatever you need to
it-
move through that.
yeah, bloody oath. And at that point, it was so emotional. But then I came out of hospital, and I was still on so many drugs. Like I was on, and I told the doctors I didn't want to be on certain drugs.
Were you still in pain at this point?
Yeah, I was still on painkillers. Well, the thing was, right, I was on because I was in so much pain. They had me on so much pain medication, and then the pain wore off and everything. But
how long did that take? Just curious.
What the pain meds or
No,
the
pain wearing off?
Well, to be honest, I don't know because I was on so much pain medication.
True.
But the thing is, you can't just weave off because I was on opioids.
Yeah.
And they're one of the most addictive, physically addictive drugs in the world. And I've heard of so many people in my case that they just don't get off them. They end up being the amount of morphine that was getting pumped through me. As I was saying, 8 mils ketamine an hour. Like,
Yeah, that's
that's
like
nuts,
you're a
man.
horse at that point. It's like Jesus Christ,
bro. Like, you go down to the local nightclub, mate. You find more. You wouldn't even find that much.
But then I think I know where you're about to lead to with this. The come down from that's fucking nuts.
Oh, but exactly, And then when I was, so they were weaving me off all these drugs while I was getting out of hospital, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do this and that. So I went down to my doctor. I asked the doctors. I said, look, like how can I sleep? And they put me on temazepam.
What's temazepam?
Temazepam. It's like Valium. It's a sleeping
true.
tablet, but it's a stronger version. And I remember having the temazepam, but I wouldn't fall asleep still. And then once I've fallen asleep, I couldn't wake up. Yeah, like it was. So I get to about 11 o'clock. I'm like, all right, I haven't fallen asleep yet. So I have a couple of I end up having one temazepam. Get to 1 o'clock. I'm like, oh, it hasn't worked. I'll have another one. Get to about 4 a.m. And again, where my mind was ticking over, because I couldn't fall asleep. And then I end up falling asleep at 5, 6, 7, and then I would sleep straight through till 2, 3 p.m. And then I'll wake up all
out of whack.
Yeah, I'll wake up all dazed and everything. And where it comes to it as well, where I said my mind was ticking over, there was a part of me as well that after dealing with a couple of people that were veterans from the war, they told me that it was a form of post-traumatic stress, where your mind doesn't stop like ticking over. Like within a split second, I'll be thinking about 3 different things straight away. There'd be people talking to me, and as soon as they start talking to me, halfway through what they're saying, my mind's wandered off and started thinking about something else. And then I was like, wait, what's going on here? And again, where like my mind just kept ticking over. That was also a massive thing where like I couldn't fall asleep. And I finally fall asleep. So with all this tablet, all the drugs and everything I was off, I finally got off them. Like every single one of them.
How long did that take?
About 6 months.
That's a long time, bro.
But the thing was, like, they had me on antidepressants, and I didn't realize. And I said to them, like, I told them from get go, I don't want to be on any antidepressants. Like, I know people that have gone on the antidepressants, and they can't get off the antidepressants, and they're just like zombies. They just don't feel anything. And I never wanted to be like that. I thought if I ever get on any form of antidepressants, like it's over. I'm not doing it. I looked down and they had it on me. So they had antidepressants. So I got rid of that. Then there was other drugs. I was on something like on 10 different types of drugs, and I ended up just weaving myself off all of them individually without letting even the doctor know. True. But the one that I struggled the most with was the opioids. But it took me 6 months, got off them, and then I went to I remember about six months after that, I went to my normal, I went to my doctor, my spinal doctor. And one of the first things she said to me when I walked in there was, so what drugs are you on? I said, I'm on none of them. And she said, oh, what? No, you should be on this because you've got a spinal cord injury. You should be on that. You should be on this. I said, why? Like, I don't need to be on them. My body's working fine. I reckon it's working better than it was when I was on these drugs. And she said, no. And then after that, I just never went to go see her because I just felt that she was just trying to prescribe me on all these certain drugs. And, that's pretty much hard for like 20 minutes. Like, that's what all she wanted to do was just talk to me about all certain types of drugs that I should be on with my spinal cord injury.
Why did she say that you had to take drugs because you had a spinal cord
injury? Well, I just think that's her knowledge, That's just the way she's been trained. That's just the way that that's just the way most doctors are. I remember 5 years ago, back when I used to work at the window factory, when I was sick, I used to work. The only time I never used to, the only time I ever used to go to the doctors was to get a doctor's certificate because I was too hungover to go to work.
True.
And whenever I used to rock up there hungover, he used to say, "Oh, Marty, you got this new virus. Here, take these. Take these.
Oh, word, I get you.
Yeah, take this script of antibiotics. Don't eat healthy. Just take this script of antibiotics and go get antibiotics and you'll feel better." I'm like, bro, I just need some fucking sleep.
Yeah, like that's all.
I just need some sleep and water, and we'll be good here. But yeah, that's my theory anyway. But yeah,
bro, like as I've said, you're a man that's very in tune with your body, so I'm pretty sure you would know what your body wants.
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, that's
So that was like a whole 6 month period to like get off that.
Yeah, to get off the drugs, and in that 6 month period as well, like. One of the biggest things was I went up to Queensland to do some more rehab because there was a place up there that had a lot of positive people. Well, had a lot of people go through there and they had a positive outcome.
So like there were specialists, like.
Well, specialists in another way. They the therapies that they did was proven by science, but it wasn't accepted by what do you call it,
Just in like the ethics board kind of thing.
or just the people that do our medical boards.
True.
Wasn't accepted, but it was proven by science, but wasn't accepted by it. And then I was like, oh yeah, and so I went up there, checked it out and everything. And while I was up there, that was a time where I thought, okay, it's a new environment. I need to get off all these drugs and everything. And I ended up getting off that. That also helped me get off a lot of those painkillers.
So what did they do up there that was different?
Well, it's a form of tremor, and it's that there's a show on Channel 9 at the moment. It's in a year. Well, I forgot. You know how like they look at people like, here's them now, and this is what they are in a year's time.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. But there's been a couple of people that have gone up there and done this form of tremor type rehab, and they've gotten huge results out of it. And not even just for spinal cord injuries. I've seen people with motor neuron disease go in there in wheelchairs and pretty much walk out the joint.
True.
And it's I was just like, wow, okay, why isn't this in mainstream medicine?
Especially when it's proven to work as well. I feel like in areas that we don't know really enough about.
So, but yeah, that's just the world we live in. But so I was up there for a bit, and then after that, I came back home, and that's when I took up tennis full time, and that was hard as well because for probably 6 months after, well, when I came back from what do you call it, the rehab place up in tennis, this is about 6 months since my accident, and the next 6 months, that was probably the hardest it was all about settling into my new life.
Yeah,
I've pretty much
change.
I pretty much accepted. All right, I'm going to be in a wheelchair for a little bit here. What's to go here? And that's when I was training 1 day / 2 days a week in tennis, and I started going out and mixing out with people. I didn't really I wanted to leave the house, but I didn't. I almost was starting to feel like I was a burden. To a sense. Where I'm like, shit. I'm in a wheelchair. Everyone's gonna have to carry me up the stairs. Everyone's gonna have to do this and that. But as time went on, I finally got used to I'm one of the boys still. They want me to be here. They want me to be out partying. They want me to be out drinking with them and all and everything. And
100%, bro.
And as time went on, it got easier and easier. And I was probably partying too much, to be honest. But while I was trying to play a professional sport, I probably shouldn't have been out drinking as much as I did. But
then at the same time, bro, you're trying to cope.
But
there's
exactly
no,
right.
There's no perfect science. There's no perfect blueprint for you to deal with coping with what you've gone through.
Exactly right. And that's where I look back at, should have I been doing it? What's more important, my mental state at the moment? Because I might have not ever got out of that mental state I was in, where I'd have to eat sleeping tablets, waking up at 3 in the afternoon, or this and that. If I didn't go out and party with the boys and feel like a lad again,
I get you.
Go, bro, like this, because that's what I used to do before my accident. I was out every weekend, and I was always active. I never sat down. I'd work 5-6 days a week, 50, 60 hour weeks building houses, and I loved it. I was building houses with my mates. We'd smash it out, always learning, always moving forward with what I was doing there, and on the weekends, Friday, Saturday night, I was out drinking, out mixing out with the boys, hanging out with the boys.
Yeah, bro, you've put in 50, 60 hours during the week. It's like the weekend.
No,
it's your time.
Bloody oath. And then, so after, 6 months after my accident, I wanted to be that bloke again. I wanted to be that boy. And every time I went out, I bumped into people that see me, and they were telling me how much they respected what I was doing, what I was going through, all this and that. And, it made me feel good about myself, if I can motivate people to do good things, because, they say, well, Marty's in a wheelchair doing, stuff. Why can't I go out and do good things? I'm just
100%.
Awesome, And one of the biggest people, who's on your wall right there, Frankie, used to love catching up with him because he was a motivational speaker and everything else. And I always wanted to, once I got into what I was doing, once I completed some goals, with tennis, with life, with everything, I wanted to get into motivational speaking so I could, try and inspire other people. I didn't care about money. I didn't care about all that sort of stuff. Just being a good person, trying to inspire the world to just do good.
Literally, we need more of it.
Yeah. So that time, a year after my accident where I was going out drinking every day, it was definitely a huge, like it was at the time probably not a good negative, like positive, but like I look back on it, it was a huge positive.
Yeah,
Because now I'm 26 now. I've been out to town probably 3 times this year.
True.
Like whenever I go, like whenever I went out 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I literally know everyone in the club face to face, their name and everything, and I felt they knew me.
Mm.
And I'll go out. I know 3 people out. I'm just like, fuck no, this sucks.
Yeah, everyone's kind of grown up doing their own thing.
Yeah,
now.
and I look at everyone. I'm like, shit, how old are these people? Are they old enough to go? Are they old enough to be here?
Like every year, like a fresh bunch of 18-year-olds come, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, shit. So and, like I look at it now. I'm like, cool, but it's almost good though, because it's I don't want to go out anymore. I don't want to go out and drink anymore. I want to go out and work on me. I want to try and kick goals with this tennis. I want to go out and work on certain projects. Try and build my profile up and yeah,
Achieve great things, bro.
In 20 years' time, I might be out of the wheelchair, and I want to be able to look back and say, man, while I was in that wheelchair, I made the most out of my life. I did everything you could think of being in a wheelchair. I could do everything, and now I'm not in it. Let's go, let's go make the rest of my life of me being out of a wheelchair, a positive.
100%.
No.
Well, let's go straight back to the positive stuff. So that, like your wheelchair tennis, what have you just come back from?
Oh, I won my first tournament a couple of weeks ago up in Canberra.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, it was awesome. I made a few finals, but I just couldn't do it. And winning it, it was like a lift off my shoulders. Like I'm finally done it. I finally got my first title, and now I want more to come. Like I'm hungry now. I want to win the next one. I want to win the next one after that. I just want to keep going forward and more forward in it, and I want to go to more tournaments around the world. I want to try and just keep improving.
Just keep winning. Like that's all you can do.
Keep training. Keep again. Yeah.
But there was something we were talking about before. I can't remember what it's called now, and I'm going to be kicking myself over it. But how when the veterans get back?
Oh, the Invictus Games. Yeah. Like I play with those fellas.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a part of that, but the plays that were a part of the Invictus Games, I have a lot to do with.
Yeah. No, drink your water, bro. It's
sorry.
all good. Don't stress.
Yeah. The fellas that I have a bit to do with a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a couple especially where when I met those guys, they were awesome. Because
did they really help your mental as well?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When I met them, I like probably as I was talking to Andre before, the first 12 months, I don't really remember my accident. And then when I met the the Invictus fellas,
maybe explain them what Invictus is.
So yeah. Sorry. So with the Invictus Games, it got created because a lot of veterans would come overseas. They would go. There's a lot of blokes that are in the army, and they go over to war, and then they would have to retire and become a veteran for whatever reason, where they got their legs blown off, or the biggest one is, I'm pretty sure it's the biggest one anyway, is post-traumatic stress. Yeah. Well, it's one of the biggest, and that's just when they can't function as being a soldier anymore. It's just too stressful for them. So what used to happen was they used to come back and they had no purpose in life anymore. So they used to just drink, a litre of alcohol or a slab a day, and they'd get their veteran paycheck of $2,000 a week, but just go straight to they wouldn't use it accordingly to better themselves. They would,
they'd use it to negatively cope.
Yeah, negatively cope. That's a perfect word to put it. And then so when what they did was I'm pretty sure it was Prince Harry, one of the princes, set up this thing called the Invictus Games. So once you've retired, you come back and you play you can play wheelchair sports or pretty much any disability sports to try and bring all the veterans together, just to give them a purpose again in life. And then you go and compete against a whole heap of all the other countries. Pretty sure it's all the countries in the Commonwealth, or it's in the Allies.
And the veterans will compete against each other. Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah. So
that'd be a fucking fierce sport
too. Bloody oath.
You would have some soldiers battling.
Oh, bloody oath, man! And there was a lot of it was all from all different types of disabilities, from mental disabilities to physical disabilities, and they all compete in pretty much whatever sport they want to compete in. That's that can be disabled, and it's all inclusive. You know, like they're people walking around that are in wheelchairs playing wheelchair tennis, and while there were a couple of Invictus fellas that both had post-traumatic stress. And I was telling them my symptoms about the first 12 months, about how I can't remember anything. I'll read a book and I'll read the first paragraph, read the next paragraph, then I'll forget what I read, so I'd have to read it again. And they said it was pretty much a form of post-traumatic stress. I was like, oh, all right, cool. But that's the thing, though. I don't think there's a point where you can measure it. Like, you either got it or you don't, or you might have a little form of it, but it's still a form of it. But
it's enough to affect you that significantly where, like, you've got it. So it's like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, so...
Did they give you any, like, ways to cope with it?
Oh, look, through it, they never given me any forms of how to cope with it. But through tennis, because tennis can be a very stressful sport, as you've seen, Nick Kyrgios crack it a couple of times, and
True.
A lot of other players as well. John McEnroe yelling at the referee. It can be very very stressful. So through my tennis coach, and whatever else, we've come up with ways for me to deal with my concentration, deal with my emotions out on court and everything, and I try and bring it into real life, but. As we were saying before, like, you don't learn that sort of stuff at school, and it's probably something that should be learned at school. Have a class there that's dedicated to mental health. Like,
we've got PE. Like, why do we not have mental health?
Yeah, exactly, So,
but then just on that, what are some of the examples that you and your coaches came up with?
Oh, look, man, just, the problem with me is sometimes I overthink.
Yeah.
And when I start overthinking, I just need to just think, okay, look at the ball. And I just watch the ball the whole time. And I'm just thinking about watching that ball, and I just hit the ball. And then I just hit the ball again and hit the ball again and just keep watching that ball. And then because I know I'm overthinking.
Yeah.
So because I know I'm overthinking, I just think, okay, just simplify it and watch the tennis ball. Yeah.
Simply.
As soon as I start trying to think, okay, I'm going to hit the ball because I'm going to put my arm over here and my body's over there and everything, I start playing shit tennis. As soon as I start thinking, okay, the ball's there, I'm going to hit it. And then I play good tennis.
It's nuts how the mind works like that.
Oh, bloody oath. And I'm sure that's just the way how it is with most sports and everything else.
Yeah, you just got to concentrate. Because if you think about something else, like, you open up the opportunity for other things to happen rather than what you're focusing on. So it actually makes complete sense, like, to sort of stop overthinking. You just focus on one task at hand.
Yeah.
So then it stops you from, like, going down the rabbit hole of, like, thinking about everything else. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'll focus on.
Yeah, but that's the way how life should be, Like, simplify it. Just focus on one thing and just do it, man. And then once you've done it, do another thing. That's another thing, like, life can people just overcomplicate it sometimes, where it just can be so simple. So
it really, and it really is. And it's almost like, because I'm an overthinker as well, and, like, I get envious of people that just, like, will focus on the simple task. But rather than, like, focusing on, like, me becoming envious of them, I'm like, why didn't I just try that?
Yeah.
Like, why don't I just pick out a simple task where I'm like, okay, that's what I'll choose to focus on for this time. And since I started doing that, like, it makes a world of difference. And it allows me to slow me down. And then because I've slowed myself down, or, like, I'm making a conscious effort to slow myself down, like, it's almost like it's mental training. So my mind then remembers it next time, like, when it gets, like, in those sort of frantic states.
Yeah.
But then back to the veteran lads. I remember you sort of saying before how, because of the games, it's created, like, a purpose.
Yeah.
And it's like that's one of the driving things that keeps them going.
Oh, well, it's the same with me as well, After my accident, it gave me a purpose. But, yeah, with the veterans, like, one of the blokes, like, he's, he was part of the Invictus Fellows. He was about 50 years old, and he... When, like, at 50 years old, once you've retired, there was even another bloke there who was 30.
True.
If you're a veteran now, you're retired. Where do you go?
Yeah.
Where do you go from there? It's like, wow, I've literally got 50 years of my life and I'm retired. What do I do? But he, unfortunately, he's too able-bodied. Like, he can't qualify for wheelchair tennis to play anymore. But the bloke that's around 50 years old, he's okay. He can still keep playing, and he was at the tournament I was in Malaysia and in Thailand, and he's still improving. He's still going good, and I reckon it's awesome, you know, because again, it gives them a purpose where they're not just what was the word you used? Negative.
Oh, the negative coping
Yeah,
mechanisms.
negative coping method. They're coping with the positive, you know, dealing with it positively.
But that's literally life, though. It's like we can look like. It doesn't matter if you're in a situation like yours or in a situation like mine. Like, if I choose to dwell on that situation and do negative coping mechanisms in order to get through that, like drinking, just committing a whole bunch of fuckery, like nothing's going to change.
Yeah, just using excuses as well. Like,
Literally.
you know, just saying, oh, you know, that's too hard. I don't want to do this because, you know, because of that and this happened to me, blah, blah, blah. It's happened to you. You just need to, you know, deal with it. You just need to go through with it. I had a spinal cord injury. I'm in a wheelchair. I just need to deal with it and move on and just keep taking life as it comes and keep, you know, conquering whatever comes in my way. You know, and that's how I look at it, you know. I could have used every excuse in the book to go off the rails. And to be honest, everyone would have looked at me and said, fair enough. Marty's had a spinal cord injury. He doesn't leave the house today. Yeah, fair enough. I probably wouldn't want to either. Yeah, Marty's had a spinal cord injury. He's drinking every day. He's smoking. You know, he's playing up. Oh, well, fair enough. Like, he's got a spinal cord injury. He's in a wheelchair. I don't know how I'll deal with it either. You know, but this is how I've dealt with it, and I feel like I've dealt with it a very good way, very positive way, and yeah.
Bro, like you've achieved such you're achieving such great things, and then none of that, like, you're almost like you're becoming everything that you wanted to. Like, just how you said you wanted to be that motivational speaker. I'm sure as fuck everybody sitting here listening to this is going to feel motivated in a way. Like, even I am. At the start of the day, I was just like almost not feeling defeated, but almost feeling like sorry for everything because I didn't know the full capacity of everything.
Yeah.
But then, like, now that you've heard the whole story and like how you spun it around, I'm like, well, fuck. Like, if Marty can do it, like, why can't the next man? Like, why can't everyone? And it's like you're doing that all indirectly.
Yeah.
And it's gonna, like, the pathways that it will create for you are gonna be so sick.
Yeah, but hopefully me doing this, you know, again, it opens up more doors and even more doors where, you know, like, who knows, I'll end up in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 20 years' time. You know?
And then, like, who knows what will change as well. Like, as you said, science keeps getting better and better and better. Like, one day you could get that phone call, it's like, and then your life changes again.
Yo, man, like, you know, we got this thing for you. Put it on your spinal cord and off you go.
You're
like,
like, fucking oath. Can I get that tomorrow?
Yeah, bloody oath. Well, they're already started clinical trials on this thing. It's called an epidural stimulator.
Let's break that set again.
It's called an epidural stimulator, and they chuck it on the bottom of your spinal cord, and it sends microcurrents to your whole central nervous system, up through your spinal cord, into your brain, down all your nerves in your body, and it reminds your body of what your spinal cord's capable of again.
Fuck.
And and with that as well, they come up with stem cells from your navel cavity, and they reckon because the problem is at the moment with stem cells, they put stem cells in the spinal cord, but the body rejects it.
Interesting.
And a guy told me the main reason why it rejects it is because they found out. I don't know how true this is because I asked someone else and they said it's not true, but who knows? This is what I'm going off. What intelligent bloke told me, that the spinal cord and the brain has a different immune system to the rest of your body. So now that's why there's a lot of people that put stem cells in, or they put their own stem cells. Like, you can go get it in Panama. Dan Bilzerian does it. Joe Rogan does it.
Wait, what do they do it for?
Well, they just do it because it's good for you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. They get their own stem cells sucked out of it's quite expensive though. It's like $80,000.
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
yeah. It's not cheap. They get their own stem cells sucked out and they get it put wherever they need. Like Joe Rogan was saying, he had a sore shoulder and he got these stem cells put in there.
Saying that actually.
And he's like, yeah, you know, it feels like it's brand new. The problem is, the problem with putting them in your spinal cord is your body's rejecting those stem cells. But a guy in Australia in 2002 came up with these stem cells, and from your nasal cavity, he found him. He said, look, you know, I think this would be good for the spinal cord.
Yeah.
In Australia, he went to everywhere saying, will you fund this? Will you fund this? And everywhere said no. He ended up, I believe in 2007, going to Poland, and Poland said, we'll fund this. And he did a lot of research there and was getting people up and walking again. You know, he wasn't getting people running around doing marathons or anything.
But an improvement's an improvement.
Oh, yeah. And then what do you call it? And then Australia said, all right, sweet, you can bring his research back here. That was either in 2012 or whatever, and he started doing his research here. And a couple of years ago, he won the Australian of the Year award.
True.
And in his acceptance speech, he pretty much told him Australia how disgusted he is that the Australian government wouldn't fund his projects.
Well, it took 10 years.
Yeah, exactly right. He said you'd be 10 years ahead, 10 years ahead of his research if you just would have funded me. You know, people would probably be up and walking by now if the Australian government would have funded him. So, you know, that's the thing. They're making the right breakthroughs at the moment. Or they're making the breakthroughs that they needed to make 10, 15 years ago with stem cells. And so hopefully with these breakthroughs, it will keep furthering it. And, hopefully I'm up and walking and living a normal life.
Yeah, but it's actually one of those things that's like better late than never. It's like,
100%. Oh, it's not even really, you know, like for me, but like I see people that are more disabled than me, and I think, fuck, you know, like if I was any more disabled than this, you know, I don't know how I'd deal with that, you know. Like if you would have seen me before I had my accident, you said, Marty, you're ending up in a wheelchair in a week, I'd be like, fuck, you know, I don't know how I'm going to take that one. But, you know, if I see, as I, you know, said it half an hour ago, you know, going past and seeing all those quads, like those blokes are struggling. You know, there are a lot of quads out there. They need a full-time carer. You know, they can't go to the toilet by themselves. They can't go to bed by themselves. They can't, you know, cook by themselves. You know, they need someone to do everything for them.
And then and everything we're saying before about how when you're a human being, you need to find your own purpose.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you find your purpose when everything that you did before as an individual, you now have to get someone else to come and do all of those things for you?
Yeah, yeah. You know, like I take my hat off to the quads because, like, people see me and they go, Marty, you're doing a great job. You know, I see the quads, I say, bro, you're doing a better job than me. You know, like how your mental state is, like, you know, it's saying, you know, everyone needs to do stuff for you. It would be hard.
Bro, like, I couldn't even imagine it. Like, even, like I've just had situations where I was able-bodied and then, like, temporarily wasn't for a little bit. Like, little things like that would frustrate me. It's like, I couldn't even imagine putting myself in someone else's shoes that, like, this is now real life for them. And that's why, like, it's just so sick to hear you come full circle on it.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I don't know how I do it. I just do it, and that's probably how I do it. You know, I don't think about it. I just do it.
And like, you can't. Like, if you know, you said to yourself you're an overthinker, so it's like, if I start overthinking about how to do it, nothing's going to progress.
Yeah. You know, like this is like just my normal now. You know, like it's happened. You know, and you just have to do it, and it's indescribable. You know, you can't. It's very hard to describe how I've done it. How 3.5 years. It's coming up to 4 years in November. Like and they're just flown, you know. Like it literally feels like yesterday. And the crazy thing is, when I dream, I'm not in a wheelchair. I'm walking.
True.
In my dreams, I'm walking. You know, I'm up and walking and being the old Marty. You know,
that's powerful as well. Like, I'm not like a dream expert or anything.
Yeah.
Hopefully that means like,
that's
further down the line.
Yeah, well, that just means that I remember 3.5 years ago, a guy's telling me, like, you know, you need to keep doing rehab, blah, 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 because one of the biggest things is your body, half your brain doesn't know most of your brain doesn't know you've had a spinal cord injury.
Most of your brain doesn't know.
Yeah, most of your brain. Well, you know, like, and that's true, you know. Only really your conscious mind knows that you've had a spinal cord injury. Your subconscious mind doesn't know. All it knows is, like, the receptors and everything else. They're just like, wait, what's going on here? We used to have a signal there. What's going on? Like, why?
I get you, yeah.
You know, like at this moment in time, all the part of my body that I can't feel, they're all pins and needles, all of it, and that's the brain saying, what's going on here? Why aren't I getting a signal back? Like, you know, when you lay on your arm on your nerve,
sort of goes dead,
and then it goes dead, and pins and needles come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's your body saying, hold on, we need to be switching this back on.
Oh, it's like
again.
almost trying to activate like that part of your body again.
Yeah, you know, so that's what's going on with my legs. My body's saying, well, yo, what's up? Like, you know, we used to have a signal there. Where is it? So
that's like, it's nuts. And that just goes to show how like powerful the mind can be.
Oh, bloody hell.
That's why you have to feed it with positive stuff. Like, otherwise it'd just make it even worse.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, you once you end up, going down that road, I think it's like you're digging yourself a little hole. Like once you end up not leaving the house, you end up blaming everyone else. You're not leaving the house. You know, like that's never happened to me. I'm just, you know, trying to visualize, you know, if I ever went down a negative path, like how does it happen? You know, like the one thing that used to keep me so positive was I was always leaving the house. Like if I ever sat at home, even for one day, I had a day to myself. I couldn't just sit at home. I'd have to go. I'd just go down the shops, man, and just check out JB. Like, yeah, I was there 3 days ago, but there's still new TVs there. What's up here, you know?
Just go for the adventure. And that was
exactly.
that was one thing I did give credit to you. Like even when I stopped working like at that bottle shop, I'd still always see you around.
Yeah.
And it'd blow me away. Like it'd be like, because it'd be sick shit. You know, I'd walk out of a movie theater and be like, bang, there you are.
Yeah,
Like, what the like what's going on? Or then it's like just walking around the mall with my little brothers and then like see you again. But then I think the other thing, at least how I saw it, when I'd see you in those situations, it made me feel better about you.
Yeah.
Only because you were independent. Like, you know, I was looking around and I was like, oh, fuck, Marty's out here really doing this thing by himself. And I'm like, you know where you're going. You've got a place to go to. Like, you're doing it all yourself. Like, you could have easily gone another way and been like, nah, I'm going to get support for all this stuff. But you're like, fuck that. I'm still going to continue living my life. And like, before how you were saying, like, off camera, how your mental toughness is still one of your hardest things. Like, it blew me away when you said that. Like, it threw me out for like a good 20 minutes because I was just like, you're probably one of the toughest people I know mentally. And I was like, how do you still have issues with that? Which makes sense too.
Like, if someone told me, like, with post-traumatic stress, like, it never got diagnosed or anything. Like, I just got told, like, I've got the what do you call it, the form of symptoms and everything. I was like, yeah, I probably do, but, you know, I might not. But they said it's like having your cup full of stress, right? Your cup is full, but, like, you don't give a shit about anything like that or any, you know, if stress comes your way or anything, like, you brush it off, or, you know, if stuff happens to you, yeah, you don't care. But there might be something, for whatever reason, that adds a little bit more stress to that cup. And once that that water hits it, it overfills and it just blows up. And then you can, you know, lose it. And that's sometimes, you know, where it came from. You said one of my weakest points with my tennis and my mental stress is my mental state of mind. Sorry, I'm getting a bit lost for words.
No stress.
And then and that's why, you know, because my cup's already full. I'm already stressed. Like, I can day-to-day life, I'm pretty chilled. But you know, as soon as there's a little bit of stress added involved, I can sometimes brush it off. But then when there's too much, it's just like, whoa, what's up here? Like, you know, how do I deal with this?
And then, like, you can only keep brushing it off for so long. Like, especially, like, last life, like, every day, like, something new's going to, like, come our way. And it's like, if we can't keep moving that off, like, but then at the same time, too, it's all right to feel like that. Like, that's life. Like, sometimes that, like, those little drops of water that keep getting added to the cup, sometimes they can be added collectively. Like, it'll take ages.
Yeah.
And then, like, it'll happen over a period of years. And then for a week, you just have a real shit week. And then it'll reset again. And it's just
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Man.
But that's literally life. It's up and down. It's like, all you can do is take it for the ride and enjoy it. But what's next for Marty? I know you're doing too much, but, like, what's next?
I got to Thailand in a month. I've got a couple of tournaments over there for tennis. And then I've got a couple of months. Oh, then whole of December, no tennis. But next year, whoa, I'm packed full of trips over, mostly to Southeast Asia. You know, I was looking at my tournament list, and there's probably 9 tournaments at the start of the year I could play, and that goes from Sydney to New Zealand to Thailand to Sri Lanka to Malaysia. So I'm hoping I can get all those in, because next year is 2020 Tokyo Paralympics.
True.
You know, that's in August, and that's my goal at the moment. It's a very tough goal. Some days I feel like I can do it. Other days I feel like I can't. You know, but you know, I've only been playing wheelchair tennis for 3 years, three and a bit years now. So to make Paralympics in that short amount of time would be huge, and that's why I want to do it. You know, I want to be able to say I ended up in a wheelchair, and then the next Paralympics came, I was there. You know, and some days, as I just said before, some days it feels like it's a potential. Some days, no, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen for me. But only time will tell.
I'm sure you'll be fine, brother.
Yeah.
But then I was just curious about that. What's the pathway look like? Do you have to win all those tournaments that you would like? Do you have to win a few of those tournaments?
Yeah, I have to win a few tournaments. You know, that's it's based off a ranking system, and the more points,
Okay.
the more matches. So, like, if let's say it's a 16 draw at a Futures series or an ITF3, so the more matches you win into that tournament, the more points you get.
Yeah.
But like for a Futures, that's the bottom level of tournaments. Then it goes ITF3, ITF2, ITF1. The higher you get, the more points you win off the matches you play. So let's say first round at ITF3, you'll probably win 20 points. ITF2, 30 points. But if you go second round in ITF3, that'll be 40 points. If you go ITF2 second round, that'll be 60 points.
So it's like the greater the competition, the more points you get awarded.
Yeah. The harder the tournament. Then it goes ITF1, Super Series, and Grand Slams. You know, if you win a Grand Slam, you're 800 points.
Fuck.
So that's years ahead of me if I can ever make that one. That'd be awesome. You got to have goals, you know. But yeah, I'll start thinking about winning the Futures first.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And what? So, like, do you train locally and stuff like that?
Yeah, man. I train up in Melbourne Park.
Up in where? Sorry.
Melbourne Park in Melbourne,
Yep.
and it's yeah, man. It's a privilege, you know, going there. Whenever I go there, it's I feel like I'm training in the best place in the world.
True.
You know, like that's where the Australian Open is. You know, whenever the Australian Open is on, where I'm training, you could have Serena Williams training on one side and Roger Federer training on the other side of you.
True.
You know, getting ready for the Australian Open debut, and yeah.
Do they come say what's up?
Sometimes. They don't know me personally. I met a few people there, but no, not Serena or Leighton. Roger.
Yeah. Oh, they'd just be busy.
Yeah.
Oh, and they'd be in their own little
Bloody
like
oath,
space,
mate.
like mind spaces.
One day, mate. One day I'll have to say, yo, what's up? And hopefully they know me. They're like, yo, man.
They're like, wait, I saw you did in Tokyo 2020. You're like, yeah, you did. Everybody saw that. No, that's sick. And then I guess, how does that happen? Because you play for Australia, like, do you get funding and they ship, like, is it sponsorship? Like, how?
No, so in Australia, we're one of the luckiest countries when it comes to that because we get a bit of funding.
Sweet.
And, it used to be through the government, but now I believe it's through Tennis Australia, and we get heaps of funding. Like all my coaching's paid for and everything, and it works off a system, and I get a bit of funding towards my tours.
Mm.
So
that's sick. And then do you have to go out and source like sponsorships and stuff?
I get you sort out sponsorships for rackets and whatever else. You can sort out another sponsorship if you want through to pay for your accommodation and your flights and everything for your tours. Overseas, that's what most players have to do.
Yeah.
But fortunate enough for me, I haven't had to do that yet.
That's handy.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah, but then like the minute you start going away for longer periods of time, it's like fuck. It's like, how do we tackle this?
Yeah, I know. Like when I was over in Europe for 5 weeks, it was sick, man. Like went to Italy, went to Forlì, which is like a little small province town in Italy, and it was like I felt like I was in Italy. You know, there was not many tourists around and everything. And then after that, I went to Florence, which was like a completely different feel. Like Florence was just full of tourists, all flocking there. It was one of the biggest cathedrals I've ever seen in the world. It was unreal. Then went to Spain for a bit, went to Belgium, and yeah, man, had a ball. It was cool.
You just see some sick stuff.
Oh, bloody oath, man.
And I know we mentioned it before off camera, but when you're over that side of the world, like, is it like Australia? Is everything accessible for you, or?
Oh, in Europe, yeah, relatively. You always end up with obstacles no matter where you go. But in Southeast Asia, mate, that place isn't even able-bodied, mate. I don't know how people get around there with their legs.
True, it's that bad.
Yeah, man. So some places I've been to, you just look at it like, what? Who was the town planner here? Who thought of this sort of shit?
It's like probably no one. They're probably just like, here's a bit of money, go build some sick shit.
Yeah, mate. They just found a homeless dude there and said, "Oh, we can give you a job, mate. Design this new city." Like, oh yeah, right.
Fucking oath. And then you were telling me how somewhere in Europe didn't have like proper concrete. They had like little rocks.
Oh yeah, cobblestones everywhere in Europe, man. So it's like it's mentally as much as physically, because you're having to watch where you're going, and you're trying to go at a good speed as well, and it's hectic.
That's fucked.
It's annoying, but yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
It's life. You got to adapt, and it's like you adapt, or it's like you don't. You just get left behind.
Well, that's the thing, If I was over there and that's all I experienced, you'd just be like, yeah, man, this is sick. And then you come over here, you're like, whoa, actually, I don't know what I'm missing out on.
Like, we have ramps, elevators, and like everything else. It's like, fuck, it's sick.
Yeah.
But Marty, I guess we're at that time of the day, and I know you're eager to like let me know before. So I'm curious to see what you have to say. But like, what's the one thing that you wish you were told as a youth?
Well, when I look back at my youth, and then when I was 15 years old, 14 years old, I pictured myself when I was 26 years old. I'd be married with 2 kids, own a house, probably own a holiday house, and none of that exists. I'm in a wheelchair, playing wheelchair tennis, traveling the world. Don't plan too much, and then if none of your plans don't work, don't be disappointed about it. There's a saying that goes, wherever you go, that's where you are, and that means you're never lost. Wherever you go, you're at that point in life. You're in that point in the world. You're there. Then that's what you got to deal with. I remember when I was 17, 18, couldn't find an electrical apprenticeship. I was like, this is all I wanted to do. I went to school, I did this, I did that. I'm trying to do everything right. Why can't I find an electrical apprenticeship? Ended up working in a window factory. Hated every day when I was working there. And, I just got shitty and hated the world about it, But if I just would have taken a step back and just replanned, not got shitty about, the life, well, not really life choices, but the way my life was unfolding, I would have sat back and would have appreciated it a lot more, and I probably would have ended up in a lot better places. I'm in a good place now because, just everything that has worked out for me ever since I've ended up in a wheelchair. But at that point, not everything was working out for me, and I could have gone off the rails very easily, and I think that's how a lot of kids do end up going off the rails very easily.
Literally, it's like it's the real shit I've ever heard, because it's like life's life. Like, we're gonna feel defeated at times, and it's when we're feeling defeated, it's like, what are we gonna do about it? It's like, what is you as an individual going to do about that? Like, are you really going to beat yourself up because you didn't find what you thought you wanted?
Yeah.
But have found yourself in a situation anyway. It's like, just enjoy it for what it is and see what comes next. Bro, it's too real. It's too real.
Man.
Marty, is there anything else that you want to share with the world?
Nah, man, I reckon that's fair. I think we've had a good chat here.
No, we have.
I think we've had a great chat here. It's the first time I've done something like this before, and I've loved it.
Bro, you need to do more of this shit. And I know that, like, you would know your fair share of people as well. Like, and I'm like, we're talking about it before off camera. Like, that idea you have, bro, do it.
Yeah, man. If I can go through with it, traveling the world, taking on different obstacles and everything, bloody oath, mate, I reckon it would be awesome. It's a good TV series,
100%. So, oi, if you're a filmer and you're listening, get at him.
Bloody oath.
Get at him. I guess that's a perfect opportunity. Where do people go to find you, Marty, if they want to hear more about you?
Just Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to start using it a little bit more. I don't use it enough. That's probably something I should be trying to do, promote myself, build a little bit of a public profile and go from there. I probably don't respect my story as much as what I probably should, because, again, this is my normal. I'm just like, I've just had to deal with it this way. But, it's... Yeah, I probably should put a lot more of what I've just told you out there and educate people about what it's like going through with a spinal cord injury. Let them know, if you go through hardcore stuff, it's not the end of the world. You can deal with it. You can keep moving forward. You can keep going on.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
And then just so spell that out for the people that are listening.
What, my name?
No, like what your Instagram and stuff is.
I don't even know. I think it's Marty_Dunn.
Oh, don't even stress it because we'll make sure it pops up. But for the people listening,
Marty_Dunn. Then Martyn Dunn on Facebook.
Easy. It'll all be popping up everywhere so everyone will be able to find it.
But
then in saying that, don't even stress it too, bro, because this is like the first step in that direction. Now that you're at least now you're thinking about it. So I'm sure all the rest of that stuff will come. And then let us know if there's anything we can help you out with as well. We can't do too much. But for your idea, it's we can help you at least string some of that shit together and help package it and do whatever you need to. No, but Martin, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story, bro.
No worries at all. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Mate,
You know, this is awesome. You know, thanks Liam for setting everything up. All the other guys here.
Literally.
This is sick.
Like, yeah, I mean, that little one there, he was asking about you too. He's like, when are you going to come on? When are you going to come on? I'm like,
yes.
it's just so convenient that he was here on the day as well.
Yeah.
No, but like, Marty, I couldn't thank you anymore, my brother. I couldn't thank you anymore.
No worries. Cheers, bro.
But I guess that's it for Different Kind of Genius this week. Thank you all so much for paying attention and supporting us that whole way. Big shout out to Griffinburger once again. The team down there are fucking dons. If you're in Ballarat, go eat their food. Yeah, I think that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe. Peace out. One love. Liam, do that shit. Gil, what are you yelling?
Bye.
There you go. Martin, thank you though, brother.
No worries.
I really
Thank you, bro.
appreciate it.
That was good, man. That was sick. Thanks, Liam.
Bro, that was like...